it's been a little bit, but honestly I filmed this video and it just, I don't know, I didn't like how it looked, so here we are again. It's gonna be more of like a first impression situation. So some of the items I'm gonna be trying are the NARS Soft Mate Foundation. This is in the shade Macao or medium deep 4. Now some of these items aren't new technically, they're just new to me. So I'm gonna be using the, honestly I don't know why I can't open this girl's products. I'm gonna be using the Fenty Beauty powder bronzer. This is in the shade Cocoa Naughty. I feel like everyone uses Cocoa Naughty. I don't know, I guess it's a popular shade, but yeah. And then I'm gonna be trying out the Rare Beauty liquid luminizer in the shade Flaunt. I actually was on the hunt for a highlighter in Sephora and I just couldn't find one that I either don't have or that I've tried and was not a fan of. And I don't usually go for liquid highlights just because, I don't know, it's like I have to remind myself to apply it before I apply my powders and it's just like a hassle to me. But we're gonna see how that is. I swatched it in store. Well, the lady swatched it for me and it looks beautiful. So we're gonna see how that is. And then I'm gonna be using, this isn't really exciting, but I got a new brow gel. This is the Benefit 24-hour brow setter. I wanted to try the ABH, what is that? Freeze something, I don't even know. But it's sold out everywhere. And then I also don't even know if I'm gonna like it because people compare it to using soap and I've never used soap. So yeah, but I'm just gonna try that out. And then I'm going to use my Melt Cosmetics Blueprint palette. Now I've had this for a while and I just haven't gotten around to using it. The blues in this palette are so nice. I think it's just like the palette version of their Blueprint stack. I don't think the formula is technically changed, but either way, this is the first for me. I will say that I know I'm gonna have to dip into another palette just for like a transition shade, because this brown, this is the only matte brown in the palette and it's just too deep for a transition. I'm gonna have to put something before I go in with that brown. So just to keep it relevant, I'm gonna go in with the Rust palette from Melt Cosmetics. So yeah, we're just gonna hop right into this and hopefully it comes out good. I really hope it does. Since I'm gonna be doing an eye look, I'm gonna do my eyes first. I don't want to chance doing my face and then there being fallout under my eye. Like I'd rather not. So let's start off with priming my eye. Now I have the P. Louise eyeshadow base, but I feel like my eyes kind of like crease whenever I use it, but let's see if I can do something different this time. So I'm gonna go in with the P. Louise base in Room Work 5. It's pretty close to my skin tone. And I'm gonna blend that out with my Morphe M173. So if I was doing like a more vibrant look, I would go in with a lighter eyeshadow base, but I don't really need the colors to pop so much. I just need it to hold the shadows well, to kind of create some type of base for the shadows to just be a little bit more pigmented, not so much vibrant, because I'm gonna do a warm look. I'm not gonna dip into the blues. I really want to dip into the blues, but I feel like that would be good for like its own video, not so much a first impressions video. But I will say that when I first got this, I was very surprised at how thin it is, because I don't know if you can tell on camera, but like in my mirror I can pretty much still see like the color of my lid a little bit. I don't know. I usually use my e.l.f. Cosmetics concealer to prime my eyes and it's really thick, it's very pigmented, but it's fine. And then also my lip, just ignore my lip because I really just have a really bad habit of picking at my lip. And right before this video started, I was scrolling on TikTok and I was just like picking at my lip. Ugh, I hate it so much. But I have right now on my lips, I have the Dior Lip Glow in Rosewood. I got the Rosewood one because it has like a tint to it, and I like the lip balm from Dior. But honestly, this lip oil is nothing special. If I didn't have the 15% off when I got it, I would return it, but it's fine. I'll just use it up and I won't buy it again. All right, so let's get into this. So for my transition shade, like I said, I'm going to have to go in with the Rust palette. I'm probably gonna dip into Rubbish. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna dip into Rubbish. All right, so with my Morphe M518, I tapped off the excess just to like reduce any chance of fallout, even though I can just wipe it away. But I am just going to swish this around everywhere. I kind of struggle with getting an eyeshadow shape down a lot of times because I feel like it always comes out different on both my eyes. I don't know if it's just the way I apply it, or if my eyes are actually a different shape, but just like a wash of this everywhere. I'm gonna bring it up to the brow as well. I just want this to serve as what I'm gonna blend that brown shade that's in the Blueprint palette, just to help it look a little bit more seamless, you know? I've definitely seen people on YouTube just go in with like a dark color for all over their eye, and then they'll just blend out the edges with a clean brush. But I don't know, that just seems like impossible for me. I can't do it. I feel like my skin looks so good. I'm gonna dip into the brown in the Blueprint palette, and I'm gonna take an M513, okay? As you can see, it's still a blending brush, it's just a little bit smaller. I'm gonna dip into Hammered, tap off the excess. I have a little bit, just a little bit. That's how much I'm working with. And I'm gonna start this like in the crease area, kind of. I just want to warm up the area before I continue to build it up. And I guess this look, well, I'm hoping this look is a little bit blown out. I don't really want any sharp edges. I just want everything to flow into each other. I might need a darker brown from the Rust palette for the end here. I feel like right here it's not really catching. So let's go in with a little bit more. I'm gonna go in with a darker brown. I just don't know which dark brown. I think I'm gonna go in with Rot Squared. Yeah, which is this really dark brown on the end. I'm just gonna try to deepen this up just a little bit. So I'm gonna take an M514, which is another blending brush, but it's smaller than the M518 and the M513 that I used. So I'm gonna, ooh, that was almost a catastrophe. Swirling it on the end over here, and then I'm gonna bring whatever I can that's still on the brush. I'm gonna bring it up into the crease area and towards the front. I feel like I need a little bit more, but this time I'm gonna tap it just so that it's a little bit more pigmented, and then let's swirl. I know it looks crazy, but I'm gonna go back in with the other shadows that I used just to make sure everything looks blended. Now I'm gonna go back in with Hammered from the Blueprint palette. I'm gonna go over the edges of that dark brown I just applied, Rot Squared, or whatever it is I said it was. And then because I'm doing this, I'm gonna have to go back in with Rot Squared, but I'm not gonna apply any new product. I'm just gonna brush over everything. Honestly, I feel like whenever I do eye looks and I'm like in the middle of doing it, it looks crazy. It looks crazy. I'm going back in with rubbish just to go over the edge of everything. Yeah, so whenever I do eye makeup, honestly, there's been multiple times that I've just taken off the look because I did not trust the process. It was looking very shaky. Now, you know, in camera, I mean, in my viewfinder, it looks like I have no... Okay, that's gonna have to work. There's also a point where I just don't have the patience. I'm just gonna take another M518, which is clean, nothing on it. And oh my god, one of the hairs came out. I'm just gonna run over the edge of everything, make sure everything looks good, and just blend it. Now I'm going to take the Blueprint palette. I'm gonna take a shimmer. I want to use Hot Wire, which is like this really orange gold shimmer right there. And I'm gonna apply that with a fluffy shadow brush, a fluffy packing brush, I guess. Because I don't really want it to be, I don't even know how to describe it. I just don't want it to be packed on. I want it to be like dusted on, if that makes sense. I have like this bristle sticking out. So I'm gonna apply it like that. I'm just tapping it. This gold is actually really nice. I feel like this gold with a tan. So now I'm gonna take a very skinny blending brush, and as soon as I can find one, an M562 very small blending brush, and I'm gonna go over the edge of the shimmer just so it's not like a harsh line or anything. I know it seems so pointless that I applied all that shadow on my lid, but honestly I'd much rather not worry about where I place shadow. Alright, I'm dipping into Wrought Squared just a little bit because I feel like the shimmer got a little bit out of control. Alright, so the eyes are done for now. I have to do my lower lash line, but I'm gonna do that when I finish my face. Right, so before I prime my face, I'm gonna just wipe under my eyes in case there's any fallout. I need to get rid of some of this primer there. So for my nose, well, pretty much my T-zone area, my nose, on this side of my nose, and my chin, I'm gonna use my Maybelline Baby Skin Instant Pore Eraser. Love this stuff. I actually feel like it's similar to the Makeup Forever primer. I don't know if it's a silicone primer, but it's the original one, not like all the other flavors that they have. I'll just try to remember to include a photo here of what I'm talking about, but it's very similar to that, like the consistency of it. Yeah, I just put this on the area that I feel like my pores are most visible. Pores are normal, but you know, we like to minimize them as much as possible. For the rest of my face, I'm gonna use my Fenty Pro Filter primer, soft matte primer. And I'm just gonna apply this and basically rub it in like it's lotion. I actually really like this primer. So before I got into this primer, I was using my Too Faced Hangover primer. That primer is bomb. I actually been wanting to try the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas, I think it's called. I don't even know. But this one gets the job done. So this is the NARS Soft Matte Foundation, Soft Matte Complete Foundation, and this is in the shade Macao. So foundation is like tricky for me. I find that I can't ever find the perfect one, but I've heard great things about this foundation. Apparently it's good for oily skin. I'm combination skin. I pretty much get oily like in my T-zone. So let's see, I'm applying it with my Real Technique buffing brush. The reason why I said that I was a little bit concerned about the shade was because if I had gone one deeper or lighter, it would have looked atrocious, like for real. So I just have to bring it all the way down my jaw and all that. Now, I don't really like to do that on the regular because if I'm wearing clothes, I would much rather my clothes not get makeup on it. It is what it is. Honestly, I feel that when foundations are a little bit off, of course it's your preference, but you still have to like highlight, contour and all that. So I'm not really too pressed about foundations not matching completely. Now if it's way off, that's a whole different situation, but like this one, it's not bad. But this is the same shade that I used for the NARS Radiant foundation, Natural Radiant, something like that. I actually really like how it's looking so far. It looks very natural on the skin, and I'm not doing like so much of my nose because I still have to apply concealer, so it's okay. I feel like it settles into my skin so quickly, like it's not wet. But what I'm gonna do is, I saw this trick on TikTok, let's see if it actually works, to use eye primer under your eyes so that your concealer doesn't crease. And I feel like that's genius. That's also why I didn't go all the way up under my eye with foundation, because I have to apply concealer. Well, in this case foundation. I'm going to use a lighter shade of the Soft Matte Foundation, but I didn't go all the way up under my eye because I find that the less product you apply under your eye, the less cakey it looks, the less it creases and all that. But we're going to see how this here works out. So like I said, I'm using, what did I say I was using? Oh, I'm using a foundation instead of concealer today. So I actually got samples of that NARS foundation from Sephora, and this was one of the shades that was included in the samples. This is Syracuse, which is medium deep 1. So I'm going to use this to highlight my face because I really do like how this is looking so far. Dip into the foundation, and I'm just going to apply it as if it were concealer. Now, seeing that it's settled into my skin pretty quickly, I'm gonna blend this out before going on to the rest of my face. This is one of the mini beauty blender sponges, and I'm gonna tap this out. And as I'm blending it out, I'm bringing it closer to my lower lash line. I'm gonna go in with my e.l.f. sponge instead, because I feel like that beauty blender one was just blending it too slow, and I feel like it just, I don't even know. That was not it. This is my usual sponge. I usually use my e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge. And then I'm gonna take whatever's on the brush, bring it down here, bring it on my chin, and a little bit right there. Whatever's left, I'm gonna bring it between my brows a little bit, and then whatever's on the brush, I'm gonna put it down my nose. I'm gonna go in with the Rare Beauty Liquid Luminizer in the shade Flaunt. Now, let me show you what exactly it looks like. So the applicator is a doe foot applicator, just like that. And I'm gonna put some on the back of my hand. This is what it looks like not blended out. That's what it looks like when it's blended out. I feel like it looks so nice. I really do love it. If I trusted myself applying liquid product on top of powder product, I definitely would do that, but I'm gonna apply it right now. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to take the applicator. I'm gonna apply some to the high point of my cheek. I'm starting out very humbly. Don't want to get too crazy, and I'm just gonna tap this in. This is a Morphe beauty sponge or whatever it's called, the first one they came out with. Yeah, no, we're going in with more because that's just not cutting it. I feel like it looks very nice, but I feel like it looks streaky. Oh wait, no, I blended it out. It's fine. All right, so now that that's on, I can go in with powder to bake under my eyes and to set my face. I'm gonna go in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder in the shade Honey. This is what she looks like. First, I'm gonna blend out under my eye. I know I applied that eyeshadow primer, but honestly, I'm still creasing. So now I know that's a lie. But I'm gonna take this Real Technique powder sponge. I'm pretty sure it's meant for powder. Apply this under my eye and bring it down. My left eye is so creased, and again, pack it on. I always try to make sure I get like in that little crease next to my nose because I find that my makeup breaks up a lot there. And then the rest I'm gonna put down my nose, pretty much all over my nose, since I do tend to get very oily there. Now I'm gonna go in with a fluffy brush. This is the Morphe Y1, which is just a powder brush, nothing special. And I'm gonna dust the powder on the rest of my face. I'm fake trying to avoid that highlight area, but to be honest, I'm probably gonna go in with some highlighter anyways, just to bring it out a little bit more. All right, so now it's time for my Fenty Beauty powder bronzer in the shade Cocoa Naughty, and I'm taking my M527, which is this obnoxious brush. I see a lot of people use this for bronzer, so that's why I got it. And I'm gonna start up here on my forehead. I do know that this bronzer will not work when I'm tan. I feel like it's the perfect amount of warmth for me right now. Let's see if I could build it up a little bit. If I had went darker, it would look crazy. And then let's go in for the cheeks. And then whatever's left on the brush, actually I'm gonna take a smaller brush just because that brush might get all over the place. I'm gonna take this Japanese 961. It's just like a slanted contour brush. I'm gonna dip into the bronzer and just run that down the side of my nose, which will brush away the powder that I had on there while also keeping me from looking too ashy because there's a little bit of bronzer on the brush. With that big powder brush that I used earlier to dust the Laura Mercier powder, I'm gonna just brush away everything that's on my face. I feel like it looks a little bit problematic right there. I don't even know if the camera's picking it up, but my mirror's picking it up. And then I'm gonna dip back into the Laura Mercier powder. Now I'm doing this just to carve my cheek out a little bit. I don't need that sitting there for too long because then it looks way too harsh. What I need to do now, I need to do blush. I need blush. My all-time fave, which is Raisin by MAC. This powder blush is everything. I feel like it's the perfect shade. I have this and Fever is just like, it's a little bit too pink for me, like, but I just like I feel like this one is more on the brown side than the pink side, which is what I like. So on this Morphe E53, which is just, I don't even know how to describe this brush, but this is the brush I use for my blush. I'm just gonna apply that, and I like to bring it up. My highlight's still there. I'm hoping that when I spray my face with Fix Plus, it kind of brings it back to life. I do think that I'm gonna like that Rare Beauty highlighter a little bit more with like a tinted moisturizer, or just something like not a full face routine, you know? Now I'm gonna spray my face with Fix Plus. I need some more lip oil. You see how crusty my lips look? They look so crusty. All right, so I'm gonna spray my face with the Fix Plus just to like melt all these powders together. I feel like it helps to bring life back to my face. I feel like I look a little bit crazy right now. So let me just, while my face dries, I'm going to just brush off my brows a little bit just to get off any makeup that might be on there, so I could go in and do my brows. So today I'm going to be using my Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil. Why did I struggle to say that? My Benefit Goof Proof brow pencil in the shade 5. I usually use the Precisely My Brow, but I decided to switch it up. So basically I'm just going to outline my brow. Ooh, I went a little bit too high. I just outline my brow and then I brush it up. I feel like it doesn't really make that much of a difference, but I feel like with a full face of makeup, my brows do look a little bit washed out. Now that that's on, I'm gonna take my 24-hour brow setter by Benefit. It's just a clear brow gel, and I'm just gonna brush this through my brows. My hair actually looks very unfortunate in this video. I'm going to continue on to highlight. I'm using one of my favorite highlights, to be honest. This is the Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade Molten Gold. This is the first shade that they came out with. This highlighter is everything. Like, it's really everything. I'm gonna apply that with this Morphe R36. Pretty sure this is meant to be a highlight brush. Honestly, I might have made that up, but I'm gonna dip into it and then apply it right over where I had that Rare Beauty sitting. Put some on the tip of my nose, put some on my chin, put some above my brow. I love me a highlight above my brow. I love me an underbrow highlight. So I'm just taking this Makeup Forever 212 brush. It's literally just a pencil brush. Now I need to put lashes on. I do need to put lashes on, but before I do my lashes, I'm going to do my lower lash line. So I'm going to dip into Rubbish with an M456, which is just like a fluffy packing brush. And I'm going to flip it this way so that the eyeshadow's up so that it doesn't get dragged down too far. And I'm just going to apply that under my eye. I use this as a transition on my lid. So that's what it's going to be down here. It's just to help bring everything together. This is a Morphe 321. It's like a dense pencil brush. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Yes. Pencil brush, and I'm dipping into... That is not what I meant to dip into. Oh my goodness. I meant to dip into the Blueprint palette. So I'm going to dip into Hammered in the Blueprint palette. And I actually need this to be up here. So I'm going to take the pencil brush and I'm going to just line under my lash line on the lower lash line. Did that make sense? And of course, we're going to go in and blend that out so it doesn't look so crazy. I'm going to take that first brush that I used, the M456, and I'm just going to go over the edges. Nothing's on the brush. Oh my god, I just brushed my eyeball. I'm going to take this brush. This is a Morphe M431. It's a little bit more pointy of a pencil brush, and it's not as dense as, what number is that? The 321 that I just used. So I'm gonna just... I'm trying to keep it as close to my lash line as possible. So this is the final look. I applied my lashes and I did apply some mascara to my lower lash line because I was looking a little bit naked. Now for the lips, I'm just gonna keep it simple with the lip oil because my lips are crusty right now. So I'm gonna use this, it's a lip gloss, but it's more like a lip oil from Essence of Lee, Small Business. It's like the perfect brown. So that's pretty much it for this video. Tiff here. So I realized I messed up and I never showed myself setting my face with my Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray. So just know that happened off camera. Okay, that was the last step to this entire look. All right, bye. I love everything I used. I just know that I won't use the Rare Beauty with like a full face, probably more so with a tinted moisturizer. I love how the NARS foundation looks. I love the Fenty Beauty bronzer. I feel like the shade is perfect. The brow gel is just like a brow gel, it's whatever. The Milk Cosmetics palette, I feel like it looks so nice. I really do like this gold on my eye. I'm excited to dip into the blues. I don't know when I'm gonna do that, to be honest, but those blues are so nice. That's pretty much it for this video. I hope I made it super easy to follow. I feel like I was all over the place, but it's fine. Everything's fine. So yeah, I'll see you in the next video.